All right, so we're live.
Raven.
Assemble! Dun, 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 dun. RP Charlie Murphy.
RP.
R.I.P. Charlie Murphy.
All right, yeah, R.I.P. To the GOAT.
Another
Oh
guy.
man, some sad news just before we get into some Kingdom 2. Like, goddamn. Well, yeah, guys, what's going on? Outer Haven back at it again today with our Kingdom arc discussions. Today we'll be talking about chapter 357 through 378. I'm joined today by our special guests and Dustan Reacts and King Recon, alongside my fellow Yonko commanders in forms of Heavens 44, Steeble Game Boy. We have Maras who's on the sidelines right now, Nikki Vengeance. We're waiting right now on Monkey D Law to show up, but we're just going to talk a little bit about the Kyokai Revenge arc, kind of give our thoughts in, kind of like, our opinions and stuff about the arc, and then afterwards we'll move on to the conspiracy in the court. But who wants to start off first, though? The Kyokai's Revenge arc, their thoughts. So I'll ask Dustan. Dustan, what are your thoughts on the arc?
Man, I was just rereading the arc right now. It just shows you, like, I like how they perfectly set up Kyoukai, because, like, she was looking for Uren this whole time, finally found her, then she gets set up to get ambushed. She got to overcome all that shit. She overcomes all that shit, decides to, like, after she, like, slices up, like, almost all of them, she decides to go ahead and say, I can go ahead and attack the main Kyou. She tried to attack her, and then she just get wrecked, like, right quick. And then she just has to, like, go with this power struggle of thinking that she can beat her. And then she gets to the point where, like, she just realized that she overmatched. And then she just about to give up. Like, she realized she ain't got nothing to live for. She couldn't complete her revenge. And then she see this light. And she realized that she forgot about Shin and them. And then she just rises back up. And she just goes to a whole another level that she didn't think she could go to. And then she just overcomes it. And she just kills. It's like, it was great character growth and a nice power of a Kyoukai, like, in the same little ball rolled up and just set up perfectly for a comeback. Like, I just realized how great this arc really was when I reread it. And it's just only like 9 chapters or some shit.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. What I thought when the fight started was like, all right, she has a plan, she has a backup, and turned out that she didn't. And I was like, what? How do you go, like, for the fight of your life without any plan against someone that you know is either stronger than you or equal to you and has more men than you? But then I was like, all right, this is good too.
Yeah, because I guess, like, the whole situation with her too, though, was like she was kind of going in with, like, once she gets done with Ren, like, that's it. Like, she'll just end her life and, like, she'll be able to accomplish her mission. And, like, of course, what we see later into the arc and stuff, that complete, like, mindset just went 180. Especially when going afterwards with that big double spread of who, being the lights in her eyes and stuff, and just, like, I guess I'll go into my thing. But yeah, Kyokai's Revenge, man, honestly, for me, like, despite being 9 chapters, it's my number 5 favorite arc in Kingdom, because it's like we're coming off the coalition itself. Just like you would think, like, at that moment we're gonna get a breather, and that wasn't the case. We even get into more craziness. Kyokai finally meeting the woman that we were hyped up for so long. Like, she's finally gonna get a revenge, and now we're gonna get an actual arc covering all of this, and just, like, seeing how she was made with Kiyome. Just kind of, like, discussing, like, the current situation and stuff that was going on with the tribe, and kind of just seeing how, like, what she would have to do pretty much in the situation. Like, you're going to go into this fight, but know that your life is pretty much in jeopardy right here. Like, that, like, things are never going to be the same. Like, you're going to have to fight, like, literally, like, this is your very last. And, like, just the realistic situation that she was in at that moment, I felt like it was crazy, because, like, because no one Kingdom, like, any character can go out at any given time. So I wouldn't be surprised, like, if, like, let's say, like, one character were to die, right? Like, it's been set up that this event could happen. Like, for me, like, when I got into, like, binging this entire arc, I literally thought to myself, man, I really hope Kyokai doesn't bite the dust. And, like, just so many times, man, in that fight, I'm just thinking, like, god damn, like, she's so close, and then, like, of course, towards its end, we saw the results after. But we'll dive into that a little bit more after. But if anyone else wants to give their thoughts really quick, how about you, Nikki?
That's the first time I ever saw her, like, super angry as well. Like, she was so angry. I was just like, damn, Kyokai. Like,
Yeah.
I was getting scared for her. I was like, God, she's gonna, like, blow a blood vessel or something. Like,
I thought she was gonna die.
Like,
Yeah, for sure, man.
it was just so sick to see her fight like that, and especially the ending. Like, it was kind of messed up, like how gonna be more from the tribe going to attack her later, and she's just like all cool with it, like, yeah, I don't care anymore. I was like, damn, Kyoka, she's a savage. She is a savage.
Hmm. Like,
I just think,
I don't know.
I think it was a cool short arc. It was like one of those it was like, even though, like you were saying before, it was like even though we just got the coalition and we just wanted something else, it was kind of, it was still like kept the pace up, if you know what I mean. It was still like epic again. Yeah.
Mhm. Like, I don't know, man. Like, this was one of those arcs too, bro. Like I said again in the beginning, like we thought this was gonna be a breather, and like there's not one time where I kind of just read through it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay reading this. Like, I'm shocked the entire time. What's going on? You have no idea like what kind of turn we're gonna be getting, and just like, I mean, like we'll kind of get into our thoughts into it too. But like when we saw like you Ren's face for the first time, what kind of expressions did you guys get from it?
Can I touch upon the arc right quick before
Yeah,
before I answer that question? And I just wanted to say because one of my favorite things about anime is and just literature in general, honestly, is the parallels between a character and another character. And I feel like with not only with the story and the character, but also with the cover pages. Like I don't know what the author's name is, but I thought he was a genius from that. How it transitioned from chapter 357 to 363 to where it starts off with her very angry in the cover page. Then in the next page we see that she's deep down in the ocean. The next page we see her coming out, and the page after that we see her stand up, and in the page after that we see her finally up into the sunlight after remembering that her reason for living is to go be with Shin and the squad. And I found that to be absolutely beautiful in terms of just telling the story as it's going through the arc, through the cover pages. And when it comes to the parallels, I feel like my favorite thing about this arc, and the reason why it's my second favorite arc right under the Battle of Sai, at least thus far, is because throughout this entire thing, he was basically showing us that Kyokai could have been Yu Ren had it not been for one little misstep. You know, if one thing could have gone wrong, she could have been Yu Ren, and I found that to be absolutely amazing because no one understood Yu Ren more than Kyokai, and then that in turn was that was beautiful to me, and I of course, like, I loved all the action and whatnot, but the parallels between both characters and the way that he did that was glorious. It was beautiful, and that's why Kyokai's my favorite character.
Oh, mine too. But yeah, I was gonna say that it was because her sister. It's like if she was there and her sister and her were the last people standing. If she killed her sister, like, would she be the same person? Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, of course. And we kind of saw what happened with Yu Ren, like, you know, with her afterwards, like what kind of path she went down afterwards. And it's like this could have been Kyokai, but like, you know, it wasn't the case after. And like, it was good, bro. Like, it kind of makes you grateful to see, like, especially like, you know, now, like, especially like when we saw like little bits, like when how she was sitting down talking to Kiyome and stuff, and how she was kind of saying like, this is not the person that I've been hearing all these stories about and stuff. Like, she does not seem like this bloodthirsty girl who would just go and kill people all for revenge. Like, she's just sitting down having some water or some tea, like it was nothing.
Yeah, I remember.
You know,
I think she's something around the lines of her eyes are set on the future, or something around those lines. It was a beautiful line.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's that kind of stuff is always awesome to me. How the entire series, it was just being built up, their relationship, and it all ended up like going well for her in the end. I thought that was nice, especially with that last panel. Like I said, with the last cover page, I believe it was chapter 300 or 363. Whenever she's looking out into the sunlight, basically looking out at Shin and Kyokai, or at Shin and the crew, like that kind of stuff is always nice to me, man.
Yeah, but like, oh man, but like, there's just so many amazing moments with that. Like, just because like the fight too, and then comes towards the cover stories, like covering everything afterwards. But like, especially like that, like the one panel, like, since we're gonna go back into it after, but like her when she stand up right afterwards. So that's the reason. I just like, yo, when she rose up, man, like you felt like it's like wrestling, man. Like the baby face just getting beat up the entire time, and then when they finally like started coming back up afterwards, like you felt it resonate inside of you after. Like,
I agree, bro. It was the perfect baby face comeback, yo. It really was.
Yeah. It's just like, oh man, like it just like it just made me happy to see like Kyoko, like how her character was been seen for so long. Like people thought like, oh, she was just like she all cared about revenge and stuff. Like I know a lot of people will say like if we had to make a comparison, like she was like Sasuke, but I would say like she was handled way better as a character compared to what Kishimoto I think did with Sasuke. If we had to make those two comparisons with revenge,
I feel like she is smarter too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't really like revenge storylines normally aren't really my thing, But this one really captivated me just because of the end result. Like I felt like it was being led up to the entire time, which is kind of like how I feel about Guts' and Berserk as well. Like it by the time it actually does happen, the end result's going to be glorious because of the journey towards it. But yeah, the Kyokai one, it's a beautiful revenge storyline, man. Just, not because of the revenge itself. Well, technically because of that too, because Yuren found peace herself at the very end as well. So
Yeah.
And the thing
Dark
that
Side.
was,
Yeah.
sorry, the thing that was crazier to me as well is just the fact that she's fighting her own kind, and just it's not like some random soldiers from Wei or something. It's like her own people who are beast as well, and she has to go in so hard. It's like,
Agreed.
wow, man.
yeah, I love that line whenever she starts off. She's like, "I don't want to have to fight you all, but anybody who gets in the way of me and her, yo, that's you guys are catching bodies, man."
Exactly,
It's
man.
true,
Like,
man.
oh my.
She's like, oh, that's just, it's messed up as well. The fact she has to body her own clan, but it's just
Yeah.
like, damn, man, like, oh, there was some feels in there, a lot of feels.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Dark
Yeah,
Side
I mean-
said that it was a good fight, but it had some fairy tale level asp.
What?
Oh nah, Dark Side, don't do that, man. Don't compare Kingdoms of Fairy Tale ever. Blasphemy, blasphemy.
Oh man.
But
Dang.
does he have a point though?
I actually felt the same way, but if I read it again, I might feel differently. It might be some things that I missed.
No, but don't you
Or
think
something.
it makes? I think it makes sense because the way the whole clan.
I think it made sense, but it was just like, you know, it's the whole time it's like she getting thrashed, and then, you know, like I see the light.
No, but just think about it this way: like she's been fighting in wars with Shin this whole time, so it's not like she's been doing nothing. You know what I mean? Like, so
I understand that, but I mean, if it was supposed to be like, you know, she fight, and then that, like, it was a close battle, and then she sees something, and she starts to think like, okay, this is my motivation, and I need to overcome this obstacle, and then did that, then it would be different. But for her to be getting thrashed the whole time, and then it's like I see the light, and she get that power up, and then now she's somehow able to defeat this person that seemed to be insurmountable.
But nah, it was explained in the same arc though, because they show her
Yeah.
sister seeing the light too, so that's what made it legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I compare it more towards like the last time that Luffy got up against Lucci, bro. That's more of what I would compare it to.
Yeah,
I
but
thought
that was a
I
close
thought that was
fight.
ridiculous too.
Wasn't
Oh
that a
nah,
close
nah.
fight? The Luffy versus Lucci was a close fight though. That was like
Yeah.
he just got
Yeah,
it
the fight
too-
was cool, but that part at the end where he was just like,
Nah, man, come on, man. They both had to do this. I think after that, if they both used up all their energy, it's like if they didn't finish each like opponent, then they would have been done. Like the other person.
but like I said,
would have
I might
killed
feel differently if I look at it again. But I just feel like if that's what he was going for, he should have made the fight closer initially.
And then you got to think she just fought like 30 people before she even
Yeah.
fought her.
them. Exactly.
True.
The whole dance
True.
is about going deeper and deeper to get more power, but it's more dangerous. So she went deeper and deeper, and that's how she got stronger. So it really
Yeah.
wasn't a reach.
Yeah, especially like when you go into the arc too. Like, remember, like the thing I loved about you, Ren, as a character and stuff, and like just like how she was like really playing the mind games and stuff with like Kyokai. How she's saying like how stuff about like how her sister pretty much had used like drug incense pretty much to put her to sleep, so she wouldn't be a part of the ritual. And then afterwards, like bring back like the memories and stuff of how like she chopped her head off and stuff. And it's like, what was that expression like when I chopped her head off? And like you pretty much had that twisted face and everything. And like how she's trying to get her to like lose focus on what's going on, so that she could take a chance afterwards to try and kill her, you know, when her mindset's not all there, you know, focus on the actual fight.
Mhm.
And just like, you know, like that's like one of those things I love, like with the, like the expressions of the characters, and just seeing like her face, man, like when those veins are popping out of her eyes, bro, like that's how you know you done pissed off someone after. And then like the fact that we weren't seeing too much of Yuren's face and stuff, you couldn't really tell what kind of expression she was giving off, so you're just getting like a very good look of her eyes and everything. And just like I really felt though like Yuren, like she played her character really well, like being like the scumbag heel.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, and then that's the thing too, man. Like when she was like cutting people's heads off and stuff, that had to be the end result. Like, there's no way, like after all that shit that's been said, and especially piling up on like years upon years of waiting for this to come up, right? You knew the bodies were about to be taken. Like, I love some of the stuff where like you see like when one guy's head's getting chopped off, and literally like Jesus like smiling because like it's stuck in place. So I was just like, that's about it for you, like.
That shit was just, it was crazy. Like I'd love to see it animated so nicely. That's the thing. It's just like, oh goddamn, Kingdom anime. It's not that good yet, but yeah.
And they need to go ahead and just remake the whole Ant-Man. We got so many chapters that they can like just start and just keep going.
Exactly. Like, and I love the part as well when she's rubbing it in about Kyokai's sister. I forgot her name, but how they ganged up on her and everything during the trial. That was so messed
Kyosho,
up.
yeah.
They ganged up on Kyosho, and I was just like, damn, man, she's really like just sticking a knife in and just like twisting it. I was like, ooh, Kyokai, God, man, I feel for you, girl. I feel for you. Ooh.
Yeah, and it just goes to show too, man. Like when we saw her fighting too, like we knew that she still had a lot more to grow, considering like where her stamina was. Like especially towards the end of the fight when she actually got to meet Yu Ren, like she was already like huffing and puffing at that point. So it's like, if you let's say like now we know obviously of course she ended up surviving and stuff, but like her limit, like she saw what kind of limit that she had, and eventually she had to like overcome that limit. Because had she not taken out like Yu Ren with at least at the last bit of strength that she was able to find inside herself, Yu Ren would have taken her out. You know?
Yeah, exactly. She had to have that extra bit that every character needs just to overcome stuff. Like, just oh, man. But yeah, man, it was just insane, man. It's just 'cause I can't wait to see later on when the clans start coming for her. It's gonna be, oh my god, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the thing I found that was very interesting too. Because I remember those, I gotta look back into what chapter it was, but they were telling about details about how Yu Ren pretty much was like in the city of Wei, and like it was in Wei, right? And then afterwards, like the king exiled her because like she was crazy and stuff, and she had contact and stuff with like the king or like some of the people and stuff in Zhao during that time. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what if like potentially like later on down the line we could see one of those states afterwards like use like the Yu tribe and stuff pretty much to use to their advantage. Let's say like as like a stealth force or something to go after one of the other states. Like that would be like crazy. Like like it's like a little detail like we missed out on, but it's like that's gonna come into play later on down the line. So like I found that to be very interesting when they were talking when it was explained how like she went from Wei, she went to Zhao, and it's like one of those two states are gonna get their hands on the Yu tribe regardless, because it's not like the whole clan was taken out.
Yeah, no spoilers might even come up in the arc we in right now. No spoilers though.
Yeah, but like it's crazy. It's like you think that something's done after this, and it's like, nah, man. Like this is just like a little piece of the pie right now, and then you're gonna get into the rest of it.
Oh shit! I gotta message you after the stream last because I just thought of some shit about the arc. Crazy.
But I guess we can go into too, like towards like the very like the fight itself, though, right? Like I want to know, like if anyone wants to chime in real quick, like what was your thoughts on like the final battle between Yu Ren versus Kyokai? Because again, like I saw Darkseid just put in like the whole fairy tale ass bullshit, but like to me, I felt like there was no other like way, like other that or Kyokai's dying, and I don't know like how I feel, man. If Kyokai were to go out like this, like. I don't know. I feel like I probably would be close to either like either dropping the series or like putting it on break for a while and just kind of like recollecting my thoughts. But
he couldn't have died right then. Like even though we thought she was gonna die a bunch of times when we first reading it, it's like in the back of our mind we knew that she really couldn't die.
Yeah.
No, I would have dropped it for like 3 months or so. Like that would have hurt.
3 years. I agree.
Maybe not.
I would have to go on a time skip or something. Yeah. What's gone is gone. I was like, no, it's my Kyokai. That's different.
That's what I'm saying.
This isn't Ace.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, whoa. What? Shots fired. Where did that come from?
Hey, listen, Ace is my guy, but honestly, I would have to body Yasuyasahara if something would ever happen to Kyokai.
But that's a bit different though, man. Like I consider Kyokai like kind of like a straw hat in its just like analogy wise, you know.
Yeah.
It's like Ace, actually no, Ace is not. Ace and Whitebeard is how I felt when Oki died. Because Oki died, I was like, damn,
Exactly.
I gotta drop this shit for.
I agree. I agree.
You dropped it after the Oki died?
Nah, I continued, but I felt like saying I want to drop it. Yeah.
Yeah, because at the
Inside, I was
time,
like,
Oki,
damn.
Oki was my favorite character at the time too, bro. Like that was that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my favorite character too.
He's still my
crazy.
favorite character.
Yeah,
I love
the
him.
monstrous bird, bro. Like,
They made you not like him at first, and then you grew to love Oki like right after.
Yeah, man.
oh, I loved him from the get go, man. Like,
Yeah, the
Oki was my
moment that I
guy.
saw him, I was like, he just has a different design and presence about him.
Yeah.
I didn't like him because I thought he was like trying to kill Saiyan shit at first. That's why I was like,
Yeah. Like, oh man, like the man has 3 beards, bro. Who else got that shit in the game right now?
Greatness,
Oh,
man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but again, like of course, then afterwards, like Kyokai actually defeating like Ren and stuff, and we found out like the smart decision that she made, which I thought was good, at least to like kind of hold time a little bit for her, like by hiding Ren's body and stuff, so that rumors wouldn't start spreading. To like she died, and then the next ritual will begin to kind of pretty much go after Kyokai. So like, what you guys thought of that? Like as like a little bit of a delay to the next ritual.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, that was
I thought it just tied the whole arc down together right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
what
that was
yeah.
incredibly that's typical Kyokai smartness right there.
Yeah, it's 2 people whose lives were ruined by this ritual. See, even if it's just not even just to survive, but just her herself, as out of respect, not only for you, Ren, but out of all the damage that ritual has caused so many people and to them as well. And she just wanted to delay it, so that some people out there, or some sisters, could still have time with each other while they still can.
Yeah. This is why Kanki is number 2 for me, because even though he's smart too, he doesn't have the heart of that Kyokai has. The heart.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
he's all
hey,
about-
Kanki's my number 2 too, bro. You're a good man. Good man.
Yeah, especially when you get into the later arcs. I don't know. Some people might put him as the number 1, but
That's true.
The
I haven't
number
seen
one's
it.
The number one's
Yeah.
a Kyokai, I think.
Yeah.
it's tough for me to say, man. Because like, look, I love my boy Moten, even though shit happened to him, but
No.
Nah, mine's
yeah, but
Oki, Usen, and then Shin. I'll have to-
Yo, said too, bro.
Like,
damn,
I'm
I
not
had to
even
put him in. It's like, I mean, Mobu, yo, like
No
it's
Mobu
tough,
too, man.
Like that guy is like the god of the verse to me, bro. Like,
I'm still a bit mad about Oki's death because of that guy, but whatever, man. He made it up for it in the coalition, so I should shut up now.
Yeah, man. MVK, a 6-star classic, bro.
He wouldn't have had to make up for it if he wouldn't have did that.
True, exactly. No, don't do this,
Good
Steve-O.
point.
Don't stir up these old feelings.
Mickey's
Oh,
munching.
I forgive him though. He did make up for it
yeah.
in a major way.
Oh, man. Oh boy. But yeah, I think we could definitely go into probably the biggest part of the entire arc is finding out that Kyokai now pretty much has 2 dreams right before her.
I love this part so much, bro.
Yeah,
I love this part so much.
the second one is a must.
Yeah, it's like first off, like when she said that she wants to become a great general of the heavens, I'm like, damn.
That was
Like,
surprising enough.
It's not like you throw that name around and stuff, because especially with Shin, that's like Luffy becoming the pirate king. Like, it's like almost saying like with Eustace Kid, how he used to kill people and stuff for making fun of him, wanting to find the One Piece or whatever. So like for her to say that and like how it just like there wasn't like a laugh or anything to it. It's like, oh shit, like she really like she means it. She wants to go for that role, which I thought was amazing. But then when she goes and says, like, and the next goal is I want to bury your kid, Shin. And
Bro,
like
I
I'm just
was
like
so
I'm
shook.
I'm like, what? Like what?
Is
Like,
this
that's not Kyokai.
The thing that makes it all the more funnier is that Ten is over here just questioning, like, well, do you know what that means? Do you really know what that means?
Yeah.
And then
I
Kyokai's
know.
explanation to it was hilarious. So it was I got the panel right here. It was wasn't it something about having to team up with a strong man to climb a big mountain somewhere? You have to make something explode and you'll be gifted a child. And I was like, that's a weird way of putting it, but that's pretty factual. That's pretty
And then Shin's like, I don't really mind.
Hey, I
He's
mean,
about that game, man.
call me a prophet if you want, but I saw it coming. I already knew she wanted to have Shin's baby.
Yep.
Hey man, Shin doesn't have pull-out game, man. Like he's about it.
Yep, he definitely is about that, man.
He need to get on it though. He need to stop playing.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, like, and then it's like, oh, she was like avoiding him afterwards for a while too, and
That was
stuff.
hilarious.
They went like months after. It's just like, oh bye.
And the funniest thing is when Kyoka says she wants to become a great general, there was like no hesitation in my mind she could become a great general. It's like, yep, she's gonna be one now. Yep, it's just it's definitely gonna happen.
They
It's
like,
like
they like
with,
even said that it's more realistic with her becoming a great general than Shin, like 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was just like,
Yeah.
she's got everything. She's like the whole package right now.
it's like with Oki and his little admirers.
Mm.
That was also a great general. She was also a great general.
Oh yeah, his girl. I forgot her
Girl,
name,
yeah.
but
Oh yeah, you're
one-
right. Yeah, I was trying to remember what you were talking about, but yeah.
it's the one
Yeah.
who got killed by Hoken, right?
You talking about one of the Ken Six?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kyou.
she's one of the 6 great generals of the
Yeah.
heavens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, that
She was-
that
she
that,
was-
that panel in the page after is one of the best panels in the whole series that I've read thus far. The one with the
Definitely is.
six. Yeah, they look so beast, bro. Riding on their horses and everything. Like, oh, that was a sick panel.
Yeah, I mean,
Black
like,
Steel. It's Kyo.
yeah. And then I think that definitely we can go into now. I think, like, in my opinion, like I've said to so many guys who I talked to about Kingdom, but my favorite chapter of all time when it comes to it is chapter 365, Hawkgirl's Words. And like I was going into the double sprint stuff, when we see him looking up and seeing like all the 6 great generals and shit. And I remember seeing that for the first time, bro, and like I lost it. I'm like, yo, it's like all the goats, like Hakuki and shit, just like all menacing with those eyes and everything. Like, you know, Kyo and the horse too, bro. It's just like, oh my, and like Oki. But like, I'll just get my thoughts into it quick. But like, it's my favorite chapter because like how much it hit me from a personal life standpoint. It's like if you ever read something and you feel like some weird way it just connected you on that level where like it resembles something that happened in your life.
I understand,
And-
most definitely.
And it's like my gramps at the time, like he served like in the war in South Africa for Portugal, and he was like a foot soldier and stuff, and like you know he's slowly working his way up. But like he wanted to take the rank afterwards of a lieutenant, which was like the rank where like you can literally give ideas and stuff to kind of help people out and stuff like during the battles. And his main thing was like because he was seeing kids every day like dying and stuff during the war, he kind of wanted to be able to offer some kind of advice so that he can help these kids not having to live that kind of lifestyle and stuff going forward. And unfortunately, like a month afterwards, he got sent back to Portugal because then like they didn't need his services afterwards, and he felt like it was such a regret that he couldn't climb the ranks up enough to be able to be on that level where he can ask people and stuff, you know, like or like tell people his ideas and stuff to help other people out in that scenario. And then I remember him telling that to me after like in his later years and stuff when I was a kid. I'm just like, damn, like, and then it's like I don't know, bro, like I shed tears because like when the very second I'm reading this, I'm like, wow, like it's like I'm talking to my gramps in a weird way, you know. Oh, like,
Yeah, man.
like, when he stood up, that was the same correlation I had. Like my grandpa stood up on his hospital bed, talking and stuff about his life, and then like the very second, like you know, we sat right back down. And I'm like, that's it. And then when Hakro was saying like too, like you know, climb up the ranks and stuff with your rivals, you know, so that way you guys can build that kind of bond afterwards. And I broke down in tears, bro, when like what a life this was, and I'm like, shit, like I couldn't hold it anymore.
Like I got
Yeah, man.
super. I
Yes, and I think it got to me
emotional.
too.
Yeah, like when it got to Mobu, when it got to Mobu, I was like, damn, oh.
Yeah, you
Mobu's-
know, that's
Mobu's
that
just
one
drinking.
hurt.
That's when I got. That's when I started getting emotional. I was like, damn, Mobu. Oh, I feel sorry for you now. You're still a
Yeah,
dick,
man.
but I feel sorry for you. Oh shit.
Yeah. That's what I mean, bro. Like I never like when I saw Molten, especially crying, it's like not a general. Like that was it, man. It's like you know, you were the greatest. Thank you, Gramps. I'm like, oh boy, like my favorite character, bro, crying to like one of the best old men in the series, like, and then just seeing Mobu, like, you know, like he wasn't able to show up, and like you felt it in like you were Molten right there. It's like how dare you not show up to your dad's like passing, but you understand why. Like this is war. Like you hold the state in your hands pretty much. Like you had to like put the state unfortunately over your dad, and like I knew like Mogu even said too, like he understood why he wasn't gonna be there. So like it hurt even more. It's like there's no way Mobu's not gonna have any emotions. Like he's gonna feel that too in his heart. And just seeing that the flashback too, where like they're going from different states and the barn and
man.
stuff, and it's just like you know I'm making you suffer too, and I'm just like oh if Mobu sheds tears, bro, I can't anymore. And it's like what a good life it was, hey father. And just looking up at like the clouds opening up with the sun and the moon, like oh my god,
Man, toast to them in the heavens, bro.
that's what I mean, bro. Like Hakuro is the GOAT, and 365 is always going to be my chapter, man. Like, it's going to be tough to top it.
Just a quick question: Is that the chapter that made Kingdom your favorite?
There was a lot of chapter like Sonyu. I would say like the Rinko fight. It was like, damn, this is my shit. But I think it was by the time I got done through 365 and I'm done like wiping the tears off my face, I'm like, Kingdom is GOAT. Like I when I say Kingdom over One Piece, bro, like it's because if you can touch me on a personal level, you're the GOAT. That's all you have to do. Like I wasn't even expecting it, man. Like
I feel like
first read Kingdom, that shit is like no comparison. Like that shit is just crazy. Like that's crazy.
I don't know, man. It's still like all I'm gonna say is the closest Coalition and Enos Lobby are just the same for me. Like both those arcs are the highest arcs of manga I've read. But emotionally, One Piece has got me, man. Like there's some sad stuff happening in Kingdom, but emotionally, One Piece has got me, man.
Same here, bro. Yeah, definitely. Same here. Yeah, like when it comes to like getting you emotionally, One Piece and Gintama hit me hard, bro.
Man, bro. But Kingdom is number 2, definitely, no matter what. But damn.
Nah, Kingdom the GOAT, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's like when you get that little comparison and stuff, man. Like right away, like it's hard not to like. And then it's just like the way like it handles war, the way it just handles like its environment and stuff. Like lives are on the line every single day. It's not like in One Piece where like some only certain characters will be killed off of the story, but like you can literally like how I always say this to lots of the guys, but like you can literally be having dinner one day with someone, toasting it up or whatever, and the next day their head's on a spike. You know, like it just shows you like how much you have to literally value every single day of your life because like it's not a promise afterwards that you're gonna see the next day.
That shit like Game of Thrones if y'all watch that shit.
Definitely.
Season 7's coming, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Only gonna be what is it? 7 or 8 episodes this season, all hour and 45 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
45 minutes?
Yeah, it's gonna be almost 2 hour long episodes.
That's big. Okay,
basically 7 movies, bro, back to back to back.
Exactly.
This is about to be like the Coalition of that series, bro. Everything's coming.
Oh my god.
Exactly. Hey, we're gonna be getting on those discussions anyways, so.
Oh yeah, man. I'm up for any Game of Thrones discussions, bro.
Definitely. Definitely. So we'll get that shit popping in July, most definitely.
Yeah. Still give me chills.
I'm looking forward to whenever I catch up to where Kingdom's gonna be in my top 5, bro. Because so far I really love it, man. So it's awesome sauce, and I think the arc after, because I loved the Battle of Sai and the Kyokai Revenge arc, but the arc that comes after, just seeing everyone together again, like because I love Return to Sabaody so much for that reason of like seeing all these guys again after so long, and like I was just, I don't know, I really like the Seikyo arc, that when everybody gets back together for the first time in a while, and you see like their new feats and how strong they are now, like that kind of stuff is cool to me, man.
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves either, but there's one more arc before the arc we've caught up, that's caught up now to Kingdom. That arc, there's some feels in that arc so much, man.
Oh, there definitely is, bro. Like I'm trying to remember, but I think it's 499. I think it was. Like I'm trying to remember the chapter number, but that's the second closest I think I've had where I've literally been like reduced to tears, like reading a chapter for Kingdom, just because of how things.
The greatness doesn't stop, bro. The hype train keeps
it's
going.
It's 499. Yeah, I'm correct. That chapter, bro. I'm telling you right now, for those of you who are caught up, that shit broke me down though because of the certain stuff that goes on in the second half of the chapter. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
Kingdom's dope, bro.
Kingdom greatness continues.
Definitely, it never stops. The train just keeps going. I haven't left the train. since 2014, bro. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, I can say we could get into now the Seikyo arc, Conspiracy in the Court.
I have to admit, man, like these arcs start getting emotional. Like this arc, I think probably the most emotional of all of them. Like it did get, I started to tear up a bit at this one. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I'll tell you what, bro. I always compare this scene to a certain scene in Hunter x Hunter. I'm not gonna say just in case if nobody's watched it or anything, but there's a certain scene in Hunter x Hunter that's very reminiscent to the end of this arc, bro. And it was hard to read that, man. It was extremely emotional, and it's mainly because you see the change that this man has gone through from the beginning of the series till now, bro. And it hurts, man. And the art and everything, it was insane, man.
It was some deep shit. Yeah, I was like, ooh. Oh man. So yeah, should we start on it? Like how everything starts out because of the main antagonist for El Say that's been there for a long time. The man. Yes.
So as we can get it. Yeah, we can get everyone's thoughts pretty much on it.
I feel like
Recon, Dustan,
I feel like I know what moment you're talking about, Recon.
Oh, you're talking about in Hunter x Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. We were thinking about the same one.
Man. Yeah, Recon, you want to give your thoughts real quick on the conspiracy in the court? We'll get everyone's thoughts and then we'll kind of like go into the chapter, the entire arc.
Yeah, it was just like I was saying earlier, man. Like I love the getting the gang back together stuff, which is why I love Return to Sabaody so much. And whenever I saw this, like finally getting them all together after having 100 chapters of just Shin and the squad together, and Kyokai going off by herself and seeing her every now and then, actually having them come together, a year has passed and they're just going in, man. And the way that they drew some of those panels where they had these team attacks, it was brilliant, and I loved it. As far as like the story standpoint goes, I had never been more interested in Ryofui than I was whenever I was reading that arc, dude. I was like, what the hell's going on, man? Yeah. And it was foreshadowing future events that has been foreshadowed since the beginning of the series. He brought up this thing called the coming of age ceremony, and I was like, damn, and that hasn't been brought up since like the first like 10 chapters, I think. So that was pretty cool to get that all the way here. And like I said, since it's the arc after 2 major arcs, I had a feeling that it was going to cover some pretty big stuff. And just going all the way back to the beginning as well with Seikyo and whatnot. It was an emotional roller coaster, man, because I felt like we were going to win because we're stronger now. But at the end of the day, in war, you never know what could happen, just like you said earlier. And the kingdom just goes to show you that no matter how strong we get, people are still going to die. And it was powerful, man. That final panel of the arc was powerful.
Yeah. And it really humanized Seikyo for me as well. I was like, this nigga had a wife? He even had a
yeah.
I want to bring up one moment.
Wasn't expecting that.
I want to bring up one moment that I was laughing my head off. Like, I know I shouldn't be laughing about it, but with Rui, you remember the guy that was like taking Rui as a prisoner and stuff? Now there's a scene where she's like walking right by him, and like the guy's like looking at her ass and stuff.
Oh,
I was just like, just like this fucking guy, man. Of course he would do that. Like he sees some cakes, man, and he's like, yo, he's about it.
I had to post that on Twitter when I saw that one.
I know, that's what I mean. Yeah, when I saw you post it, I'm like, oh man, he's at that part. Yeah, and the thing I love about these kind of arcs too, at the same time, that like it steps away from the battlefield. You know, it goes into like the stuff going on with the politics, kind of like like the preparations to the battle and like what's going on in the courts. You know, like the gossip, that kind of stuff that kind of holds the kingdom together in place for the battles to come after, and just like everyone's going through their own like internal struggle. Like not even just Quinn, like where Boku lost his position as a prime minister in the Zao, and I'm thinking like, you know, that's a big thing. Like this guy was like one of the top powers there, and like because of what happened in the coalition, like he lost his spot. Same thing with Shushinkun, like he was like the top guy there in Chu from a political standpoint behind the king, and then like he lost his spot as well. And it's just like it goes to show, man, that like it's not just the battlefield that kind of like brings out results, but like from a political standpoint as well. Like the minute like certain different people start to come into power, it just changes the whole ball game afterwards. Because one guy in power can do one thing that can make, you know, things a lot better for the state, and then sometimes, you know, when they lose that position, someone else comes in, they end up regressing, and then like what you had before is not what it is anymore.
Yeah, man. You couldn't have said any better myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question. I have a philosophical question for you guys concerning Ryofui and his political schemes. Do you guys think that a businessman, like maybe like a corporate boss or like a head merchant, can go into politics?
This is kind of ironic, you know this, right?
Yeah, because my country's currently being led by a businessman, but
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we can confirm Donald Trump is real fooey. So
Yo,
But do you guys think that's
trying to take over.
you guys
we're
think that's
waiting
good?
for Bernie Sanders, aka Issei, to come through.
Well, like,
If
Cash in the money in the bank.
if
Because
that is the case, you guys are fucked up.
like, I don't know.
because on one hand it's kind of like saying, well, just like it's kind of like a privilege for people to just like be born into the system, even like sons of famous politicians. So in a sense it's like not abiding by the system, but on the other hand it's like, can you trust these people because they're merchants? I mean, they you know what I mean, right?
I'll say this. I respect Ryofi's hustle, like, because he was like nobody, and then he became the chancellor of fucking Quinny. Like, what? How the fuck did he do that? That was like impressive. But generally, no, he's a piece of shit. So
I know, man. Like,
But did you guys had it from the beginning on? Because I know for a fact when we're talking about beginning and I had to cut up, the moment that I saw him, I knew there's something fishy about him. I knew straight away this guy is bringing only shit.
I agree.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
generally,
The way he
like,
strokes his beard.
Yeah,
I know, bro. His
Evil.
stroking game.
No, but he
man,
was
like-
too smooth, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like businessman mentality. Like, can you trust these people in politics? It's like businessmen are dangerous people, you know. They can talk
Yeah.
very well, better than politicians. They can handle situations better than politicians, you know.
Yeah, that's true. But it's just like I don't want to spoil it because there's more to Ryo Fui that we'll find out later in the next few arcs. So it's kind of hard to get into now. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like when we get to that arc, then we can go all in about it. But it's kind of hard to say now.
All right.
Yeah. Also, just to make sure, just to clarify, the guy that was looking at Rui's ass was Hokaku.
Yeah, that's
Just
it.
for people who wanted to know.
That,
So,
Good
that guy
man.
is such a scumbag, and he's
Hokaku is a
Ah.
scumbag, but he knows what's good.
But,
No, but
she
he's-
had no
yeah,
ass.
It's true.
She had a cupcake. What do you mean, bro? They put emphasis onto that shit.
She had a
What,
cupcake.
she had-
That's the most you could say.
She had a cupcake.
She didn't have a
Hey,
cake.
cupcakes
She had
are
a
tasty,
cupcake.
No, like
Yeah.
it's like
I mean,
pancake.
he's gonna make that cupcake into a strawberry cake, bro.
Guys, it was pancake.
Yeah, it was,
No,
it was pretty pancake.
I'm looking at the panel. He's making the face. You don't make a face like that just for some cupcakes.
What chapter was it again? Sorry, I forgot about it.
For that part, it was chapter 370, Disturbing Shadows.
Oh yeah.
Disturbing shadows.
The cupcake, man. Like,
But I have to say this
Pancake.
arc was sick. Oh, what? Oh, okay. This arc was sick because I just love the way, like, the one thing you can say about Ryo Fui, just his planning is so sick. Like, he knows when to make the moves he needs to. Like, the whole thing between Seiku and Elsei, he knew it was still like a touchy subject, and everyone was still a bit like, I'm not sure whose side is on it exactly. So it's just like Ryo Fui just knows how to take advantage of a situation, and it was just like, just seeing him scheme in the background, I was like, this guy is such an arsehole, but he's a great arsehole. A great one.
A great one, a smart one.
Yeah, a great smart arsehole.
Like the way this guy handled the entire persuasion system with elephants and like celebration.
Exactly, that was
Yo.
crazy. And even his own boy is like, where the hell did he get all this money from? Like, how long has he been saving? Like, that was crazy. It's like,
Genius. And it's
Yeah,
genius,
like-
and it's riding on years of work.
Yeah. Like that's why I say you gotta respect the hustle of that. That just on that level, but he's still a piece of shit, so it's kind of hard.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
And also, so what do you guys think about the whole thing about did you guys think Seiku actually did have a change of heart straight away, or you weren't sure?
Wasn't really sure. I didn't think so because it's like, yo, he was trapped there, like in a dungeon, pretty much. You know, like why would he change?
Yeah. You know, it's like after all those years and stuff, like, because around this timeline, this was like how many years? 4 to 5 years since those events.
Yeah,
So,
like 5 years, I think, which is like what?
Yeah, so
He's
it's just like to go and
trapped
show,
there?
like, yeah, it's like, bro, like if someone locked me up in the box or whatever, essentially, right? After all those years, it's like you would think he'd be crazy or something, right? Like
Yeah,
after all that
that's kinda
time,
what I thought was
like a
gonna
fucking
happen.
loony, like a loony bin or something. But like to find out that he was still like somewhat like he's still all there, but like again, like they could play as an act and they could still be crazy plotting shit. But
His cell looked pretty comfortable.
I mean,
No, that's the whole thing.
hey, but, yo, I still remember the chapter when like they went down to the corridors and stuff, and they open it up and you see all that smoke and shit coming out. I'm like, yo, this guy has been playing with the hookah or something, man. Like,
I was expecting him to be sitting in a bunch of shit and piss or something.
oh,
Honestly, I mean,
true.
that's what he deserved.
Yeah. Hey man, the ass whooping that Say gave him was like top 10 all time, bro. Like,
The shit and piss.
yeah, it's just like, oh man.
Steve-O.
Oh man, and what do you guys think that El Say was like? He just clocked straight away. There's something fishy about this whole Zhao's invading, and now Tonryu's going under. It's like under some weird command almost. It's like he just. How do you feel about El Say becoming like getting more knowledgeable as a king and figuring out situations?
After the Battle of Sai, man, I was expecting it, bro.
Okay.
I saw. I really saw like his potential as a king in that arc, and I felt like after that he had to prove it again. And whenever he had like the closest thing I could call it is observational hockey. Like he foresaw like this that something was a little off about this, but
Yeah, like that's what I feel like how I feel as well. Because it just seems like after that, like even that's kind of what is it? That's what Ryu says changed Kyou a bit because the fact that El Say just went and risked his life because he had no other option. Even though most people like Ryofu wasn't doing nothing, he was just jamming at home. He's like, oh well, I'll buy my way out of the coalition. Like they're not going to kill me, but yeah, that was just So it's impressive to see how far El Say's came as well. Just like on this point of the arc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. And then we can kind of go into like the lead up and stuff with like Kyou like like getting into the city and stuff to go and try and save Rui. Like if I had to compare it to like anything that I've seen, like in a weird way, like I felt there was some like elements of Metal Gear Solid in terms of him just getting in there trying to accomplish the mission, but like no one like knowing like how the situation was, because like Kyou was not. He's not what we know as like, you know, a Mobu, or he's not like Shin, or he can like fight to that extent where he can handle himself. Like this guy is a palace boy, like a prince, you know. So it's like we can't expect him to like be able to hold his own like against like a whole bunch of people coming for his life. But to see him like, bro, like when he glided, like he's like on the walls and stuff, like running.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, yo, like
that shocked the hell out of me. When I saw that, I was like, ain't no way he finna die. When I saw that right there,
like, dude, like he was training in those chambers, like running around walls. If he was crazy confirmed, then he was doing that shit. Like, there's no way I can believe like he just learned on the spot, bro.
Yeah,
he was on that Solid Snake stuff.
It's like when
that's what I mean, dude.
It's like he did that whenever he was bored or something. Like, I'll climb the walls.
He's like, maybe it'll be so funny. Like in a flashback, he's just like running on walls and shit. Like, this could be useful.
Like, the nigga was the first Spider-Man.
No. He was the first. He was the first parkour.
The first parkourer, yeah.
Parkour prince. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also love the part of Kyou. You know when he's in jail and he's just like giving those guys an ultimatum when like because Shin and them lot get there and stuff, and they're just like, and he's just giving those like a whole generations of your family will be killed no matter what you do. So you better just let me out right now. Or not even your family, no, your kids' family, your kids' family. That everybody's gonna die. And that's like Seiku's like I was like he's channeling Ryofu right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Like I don't know, like what like because now we're coming towards like, you know, his like demise and stuff. Like he tried his best to like take out everyone and stuff and trying to keep himself intact, but like of course we know the end result of it. Like Kyou unfortunately he bite the dust on this one. And just like what'd you think of like his entire like speech and stuff when he was kind of saying to Shin how like, you know, I know you're his sword, but you also have to be his shield.
I just emotional, man.
Yeah, it's just like I felt like his character in a sense like it turned around. Like he wasn't just a spoiled like brat that we known him to be and stuff. Like he's come to understand like the situation, like how things have become, and it's like he realized like Shin's just not some like next other guy. Like he's gonna be a part of the concept of trying to accomplish Sei's dream of uniting all of China and seeing him being like the sword to open up the path. He's got to be the one to take the barrage and like all the damage and stuff that's gonna come his way.
Like that was so sad, but like it was the bit that got me the most is when he started talking about how he wish he talked to El Seymour and stuff, and I was
Yeah.
like, damn, that got me. I was like, fuck,
That
these
was
guys-
yeah. I think that's something that got me too.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, these guys, man.
Just going back to panel choreography real fast, because that chapter was full of a lot of good stuff. But there's this one certain page. I can't really recall what it was, but I remember that that Rui came down, and the first thing that she saw was Shin and Kyokai, and Shin and Kyokai were just looking down at his body, and like at first glance, you're sitting there like, what in the world are they looking at? And on the bottom panel, you see his face, because the entire time you were led to believe that he was about to win this battle, and whenever I saw that, I was so shocked. So no, there's no way, man. There's absolutely no way.
Yeah. They're the same thing.
No.
Yeah. I was gonna say too, also to get deeper into it, like I don't know, I could be reaching or not, but like when Seikyu was saying like how he remembered Shin and stuff, he was like, "Oh, you're the low brat, like the brat that was of low birth, who became like a 4,000 man commander." And like there was a line that he said that I wonder if that's gonna come into foreshadowing later, because I feel like we need to know more of Shin's backstory aside from like we know like he's a war orphan and stuff, but what was his life before he was with Piao and stuff? Because he's like, I made sure to investigate your history. Do you think like he knows a bit more about like Shin and stuff from like way before Piao and stuff, like how he became a war orphan, like because he probably could have talked to like the mayor and stuff to kind of find out like more of his details of like who his parents might have been, like what kind of life they lived and stuff, to kind of like see like where Shin was before those events. I could be reaching, but
yeah, I thought he was just
possible.
talking about him being a war.
Oki was his daddy.
Yeah.
hey, but
Oh, that would be sick.
hey, listen,
I'd be so
remember
happy.
when Oki went out, I that's what I thought too. I mean, like it could be crazy if Oki was his dad, because like we know when he passed on the glaive and stuff, I literally thought he was going to say to him, it's like just strike through, right, and conquer with your mates and stuff. And then I'm like something like along the lines like it would have been crazy if he said like, oh, he's like I'm proud of you, my son, or something. Like he says
like the final like square panel in the bottom of the page says my son.
Yeah. And then Shin going, like the one who's holding the glaive is going, what? And then he just goes out like that, and it's like, wait, what do you mean? Like you can't be saying that and just die on me. Like I literally thought that would have been like an amazing cliffhanger. Had like they have some kind of connection, but like
That'd have been quite crazy. But I like that he's not his son though, in a way as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yeah.
I don't know,
But,
like
yeah. I was gonna say also, just to get back, like I know kind of going back to the beginning a bit, but I liked how when they all met up with Heki and stuff, and like Heki, like he gives Shin gives him a compliment, like, yeah, well done, you became a general, man. I need to catch up to you. And he's like, oh, thanks to your royal blood and stuff or whatever. And then he just like puts him down again. That was funny, man.
Like, no, it's because of my own achievement.
Exactly. Like, I was shocked, man. I'm like, damn, like Heki's a freaking general. Like I remember people saying for so long, like this guy's gonna get killed off one day or something, and like, no, he's a goddamn general. Like he got some respect on his damn name. Like
I reckon he's gonna be like the Mogu of the people. Like he'll fight. He's just gonna be like a really good average general. But the rest of those guys are gonna be the ones who become like the 6 great generals. Like, he's gonna be the Mogu definitely. And it was kind of crazy to see how taller Shin got. Like I was like, he's taller than Heki now.
Bro, I'm telling you, like I said, whenever I saw this panel right here, bro, I was marking out, man. I was like, yo, look at the squad, man.
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. That's like. I was gonna tell you, like that's a great panel you have there.
Yeah,
dude. This in the page after. Let me find the page after real quick.
And he started using the glaive. When Shin started using the glaive, I was like, yep, it's Oki time. He's about to get Oki's glaive in real battle, yes.
Yeah. I mean, like, especially, I think I see it.
Yeah, it won't go down, but yeah, just seeing the way that they look now. Oh, let me zoom in. Flipping flag nards.
Yeah, I see the man. Like, my boy, bro. Look at that, man.
Yep.
Captain Shin, like, dude.
Oh my days, man.
Yeah. And I mean, kind of going back a little bit too, but like with the conversation with Seikyu and Shin, if there's like another Metal Gear like solid like reference I had to put, if you guys remember like in MGS1 with Sniper Wolf when he says that line like I don't have any more tears to shed, but like you know how like, he's like looking like there's no change in like his concentration, like he's just focusing so much on like Sniper Wolf and stuff, and like just seeing like when Shin was like looking at Seikyu, and he's like, if you were to ever fall, then he say, and then he just says like straight up, I will never fall. Like he just looked.
That's a really good analogy, man. Like looking at it, that's actually pretty perfect. Spot on.
That's fair.
Yeah, and just seeing how Seikyu's just like, damn, like I think my brother's in good hands afterwards. It's just like, I just love how that moment too, because like it slowly starts to make Shin like more mature in our eyes, considering like after all this time we know him to be like, you know, he was a silly kid and stuff with his dream, but like he's become more mature after every single battle that he's been in, especially after the coalition. Like his character, I would say, had grown because he starts to realize, you know, life and death a lot more. You know, especially when we saw it happen in the coalition with like Sei and stuff, and we starting to get like the flashbacks what happened with Piao, which to me I literally thought after the coalition he was gonna get post-traumatic stress disorder or something like after all those things. But like to see here that he's able to look into a situation like this when like Seikyu had asked him like, I need you to be his like shield as well, and he's like, don't worry, I ain't gonna fall, like don't worry about it. And like how like serious he was, like damn, like he's holding the situation down.
Facts.
Yeah, and then like the one little part too I found was fucking hilarious as well with Seikyu when he was recounting like the flashback with like how he met Rui, and like I still laugh to this day, man. Like she's like, oh, you're like an unpleasant face you're making, and just like slaps the shit out of him. like oh man, you can't take that away from Seikyu. Like that's his character, man. Like
his pimp hand was strong. He didn't like. Ooh, he was ready.
He would fit well in the Boondocks, bro. Like.
In the Boondocks.
the whole I can't see the name, but a man named Pimp Slap, I think his name was like
a pimp named Slickback.
Slickback, there you go. Like he would, if they were to ever do like a whitewash, bro, like he would be perfect. The whole thing.
Like a Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
Oh, Pimp.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's true. He would be. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, it just goes to show, man. Like, I love too, like, you know, the little narration boxes, like, to show how important like the moment is too. It's like Prince Seikyu passes away at Tonryu. It's like, damn, bro. Like every time you see that little thing, it's like they don't put it in like random character. They put that for that character who just went out. It's just like, damn, like he really is gone.
Yeah, dude. That's confirmation. It always is.
Yeah, just seeing him smile, like again, like the whole like, you know, the D. He has to have the will of D, bro. Like when he was like smiling and shit, like at his end. And you know, it's like after all those years, what we know of his character, for him to actually like slightly have a smile on his face after everything he's been through, there had to been a change in his heart, like right there and then. You know, so like
Definitely.
Speaking of change of heart, a lot of these chapter names were very reminiscent to Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap cards.
Boy, I just Diddy Kong's. Hey.
Like,
oh, damn, for real?
Jailbreak, Sword and Shield, Justice. Like these are trap cards.
Shit, I didn't know.
Wait, what? What is trap cards?
no, but basically like these spell and trap cards right here. Look, like for example, 375 is called Jailbreak. Then 377 is Sword and Shield. 378 is Justice.
Hey,
Yeah.
oh my, hey, you're right, bro.
Darkside. I just saw your comment, Darkside. This guy's a trolley boss. He would like Shin was not gonna beat Heki in the beginning of the series. Come on, man.
Shin was gonna do what at the beginning of the series?
Take out Heki.
Like, beat Heki, and I was like, Heki is the one who taught him how to use that sword properly. He was worrying and couldn't even what's that giant beast Saikyu's like dog's name?
Rankai.
Yeah, Rankai, because he couldn't like chop through Rankai and stuff. Heki's the one who taught him.
Yeah, remember, man, Coalition. He gave him that one punch, pack your lunch to Shin during the Coalition. So he snapped him back into reality.
It's true, Darkside. It's true. Listen.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know, man. And then it kind of sucks too when we saw like, you know how like they were like, you know, all the like the people and stuff were gathering together, like crying for like Seikyu, and we see like Shin kind of remembering the past, like how he would tell him like, you know, not a single person will ever mourn your death, you know, will be there for you, and how much things really changed after 5 years.
Facts.
It's like holy crap! Like when you saw all those people lined up there crying for him, it's like, yeah, there were people that did care for him after all.
It's Exactly.
You know, like
The funny thing is that the author already knew that a lot of people were crying over him because it's historically happened, but he chose to like put it in the first arc anyways. So I don't know, to emphasize. I think that's part of his genius, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it hurt too, man. When they were like, when Shin was like, he had to leave for a sec, and like when I think it was Kyokai 10 asked him like why, he's like, I gotta go apologize to say. I'm like, shit, bro. Like, oh boy, like when I got to that part, I'm just like, I don't even want to imagine what the conversation is gonna be like how Sei's gonna take the news that like his brother like just died right there and then, like he couldn't like be there to be like to help him out in some way.
Yeah, somehow I was hoping when I saw that song that I was hoping like I wish I could see more of them together working together instead of he's already dying in this arc.
Yeah.
Like you can say maybe in a coalition arc he helped a bit because when I'll say left, Seiku's the one who's ruling over at the time. So
yeah, because he saw that that already people were trying to do stuff while they were gone.
Yeah, true. But yeah, I get. Yeah, it's kind of sad, like because it would have been great to see them two versus Ryofu as well. But
yeah,
Ryofu's dastardly plan kind of worked out.
Yeah, and then like especially like one part, like I thought that was the most hype thing because like when I saw Shin, like you know when he's like looking down and he literally jumps off like from the platform that he was on, and he sees Ryofu right before him. I'm like, you better box this man to the grave right now, Shin. Like you better take this dude's life. And I love how like if I had $1 for every time I saw Ryofu stroking his beard, I'd be in a mansion right now reading Kingdom. Like this man just stroking the beard away while this guy like has like he tried to kill him. And I just love how even after all that man's not scared of Shin. He just looks at him like, oh, stop making a fuss. I know this guy. It's all good. And then he's just telling him like, oh, like you will never become king. And then like he's like, oh, really? What makes you say that? He's like, you don't have justice. And like we know this guy, he doesn't give no shit about no justice.
Yeah.
And he's just like the winners, there's only winners and losers. And I was like, damn, Ryofu's like just even though he's not like a general or anything, he still gives off that kind of essence. Like even when he walked past Shin and he's like, oh, Shin is like, oh my god, he got so big again. Like he was so surprised. Yeah.
And it really shows too, like how crazy it was. Is that like Ryofu, like never, like when he walked right by him, it wasn't like he was looking down at him, saying, but rather it lies with the winners. Like he's looking on ahead. He doesn't even look at Shin as like as a problem in his path. Like for you to like really look forward and be like, okay, whatever. Like it goes to show, man. Like there's nothing that can really budge this dude unless you're safe.
He's got that all according to plan mentality, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. I think Aizen took notes though from Ryofui. It's got to be some foreshadowing. Cheers, man.
But I have to admit that the little winners losers speech made me think of that Dolphy Marineford thing.
Same. Yep.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah. I thought of that in General Shepard and Modern Warfare 2. I thought of both of those.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's true. If you win, you are justice, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, seems that we kind of like I think we were pretty much at the conclusion because 379 literally begins like a whole brand new arc. But we'll get your thoughts really quick. So if we have to give like a rating to both the Kyokai arc and the Conspiracy and the Court arc, I'll ask everyone down the line from what I see on my screen. So with Maras, like if you had to give your rating for the Kyokai arc and Conspiracy and the Court, what would you give it?
Well, together,
separately.
Separately. Okay, I think 7.5 against 8.
Yeah.
Is that for Kyokai?
Yeah, 7.5, and then the second one is 8.
Okay.
Also, Conspiracy, it'll be an 8 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Dustin, how about you, bro? Like Kyokai and Conspiracy in the Court, what do you rate it?
Conspiracy in the Court. That's not Seiku's. That's Seiku's rebellion, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's like Seiku's return, like his demise.
Okay. So, Kaikai's arc, I give it an 8, and Seiku's arc, I give it an 8.5 because it made me like Seiku's character after the arc. And before I didn't fuck with Seiku, but then afterwards I fucked with him.
Yeah. Yeah,
Off
definitely.
of that, it's 8.5 solely off of that.
Yeah,
Okay, definitely.
yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but why I give it an 8 was I wish I could see more of Seikai
Yeah.
instead of that he already Mugan.
Mhm.
So that was like okay, I give it 8. If it was better, if it was keep on going, I would give it a higher one of the change that he made in his whole path.
Definitely. All right, so 44. How about you? What's your ratings on the two arcs?
Kyokai's arc 8.5 because I really liked the design and the fact that we had like an entire clan clashing. Before that, we had Hoken and Kyokai only as the two breath users, but now we had like
Yeah.
the clan, and the design was really good. The fight was good. 8.5 because obviously didn't have like a lot of like world building, but
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
and then Rufio's like it wasn't very centered around Rufio, and the thing that was like kind of I don't know, it didn't give off like this hype feeling, except for that one part with his elephants.
Okay.
I would say a 7 or a 7.5 because I really dislike the Tonryu,
Yeah.
and you know, but just because it was good arc, I'll give it a 7 or 7.5, one of the two.
Okay. So how about you, Recon? What's your rating?
Kyokai arc gets a fantastic sauce, and flipping Seikyo's arc gets a great sauce.
I can definitely also I'll translate that. So 9 out of 10 for the first, and then I would say 8.5.
This is factual.
It's factual. It's factual. Okay.
This is factual.
I've been brushing up on translations, so. Man. Okay, so
Hey,
let's
you?
see. With Dan, how about you, bro?
I'd say a 9 for Kyokai's arc. I really liked it. Just once she completed her initial goal, getting to see Kyou ran for the whole breath thing, like how much more OP she was, and seeing even all these people were seriously OP, seeing how nice Kyokai really actually is, you know. So that was
Yeah,
pretty
man.
cool, and I'd probably give a 7 for Seikyo's one. Like I still liked it, but like compared to Kyokai's, like
Exactly.
Kyokai's arc was just too much, bro.
Definitely. All right. Let's see. Nikki, what about you? What's your rating?
I have to give Kyokai's. Oh, I don't know. I would say 8.5 because I really liked the arc and everything, and it was sick. But it was just I don't know, like it kept the hype up. But after the coalition, it was like it was kind of the worst arc to have just straight after the coalition. Because I would have given it a higher one if it was the other way around. If it was the Seikyu arc first and then Kyokai's arc, then I'd have been like, yo, back on the hype again. But after it's kind of hard to follow the coalition, so I have to give it 8.5. It was still a sick arc though. I enjoyed it a lot. But then Seikyu's arc, I have to give it a 9 because I loved all the politics stuff, and it's just because sometimes that kind of stuff matters because you're still thinking like, how is he gonna deal with Ryufui? And they broke back Saiku as well, and you're just like, oh man, is he gonna try to kill Elsei again? What's gonna happen to Ryufui? And it explained a lot of stuff, so I enjoyed the arc a lot. So I'll give it a 9 definitely.
All right, Steve-O, how about you? What's your rating?
I give the Kyokai arc a 8.5, and the drama in the royal court, I give that one a 9.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add into the conspiracy in the court? But the thing, what, you want to add anything else into that? Or?
Conspiracy in the court.
Yeah.
Conspiracy in the court arc, I thought it made a lot of things clear, and it really changed my perspective on one of the most hated characters.
That's a good point.
I wasn't expecting for me to actually feel sorry in any type of way for Seikyu.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
And then I actually shed tears for the man.
Yeah.
That, and because of the fact that that we see exactly how far Rio Fui's not necessarily his political reach, but his funds. We see how far his funds reach. Like the man pulled out like something that would cost millions of dollars in today's age. Like he pulled that off, and like what did the story take place? Like 200 BC.
It was around, I want to say 238 BC, I believe, 239
With his own personal funds, he pulled this off.
Yeah.
Like elephants, naked bitches, parrots, coffins.
You can't forget that part.
Like jacuzzis and like, man.
He really was a king, even though he wasn't a king, dog. He was like,
yeah,
exactly,
like,
yeah.
It really laid a lot of stuff out into the story, let us know what's really going on. And then we get the moment, like y'all was saying, when Seikyu said you got to become his shield and his sword.
Yeah.
Like it basically reiterated Shin's conviction of being Sei's right hand man.
Yeah. Definitely. That's it, bro. Or
yeah, that's pretty much it.
I couldn't have said it better myself, man. Honestly. Let's no, definitely Kyokai's arc, man. Like again, it's my number 5 for me in Kingdom, so it definitely takes the 9 out of 10. It's just like all the events and stuff that we've seen from that arc, and then especially like I was saying before about chapter 365, that like solidifies it there for me. Like for something to be in my top 5, somehow, some way, my favorite chapter has to like somehow have some kind of role, and to see it in the Kyokai arc as well is just fantastic. And just seeing like how she like pretty much moved on and stuff from like she went from like the revenge, you know, like once that's all done, she's gonna lose her life, and then now it's like, okay, now I got 2 other goals in front of me, so I'm gonna be going towards that, and you know, trying to live my life to the fullest to accomplish that task. So I thought that was amazing. And the conspiracy in the court arc, I'm gonna lean towards like an 8.5 out of 10, just because like initially in the beginning I wasn't a big a fan of like Seikyu, and just like, you know, because of all the shit that he pulled off in the very first arc, it was kind of hard for me to kind of like, you know, make justifications to like, you know, for this guy, because like goddamn Kyou died because of like, you know, the stupid rebellions and shit. And like chapter 1, man, it's still like it was still like a heartful chapter, like so as an introduction chapter, and remembering all those events and stuff because of what this kid pulled off, it was so hard for me to kind of like, you know, put that aside. But just to see like at the end though, like how his character kind of came to a change a bit. So like question, like he could have been a better person like with more time on the side, but unfortunately that wasn't to be the case. Again, just like the overall stuff, like, and see like Heike coming back and like as a general and everything, his progression, just seeing like the Hishin unit now like slowly linking their way up the like the ladder and stuff. I just thought it was amazing, especially like the very end too, with like Ryufui still being like, we have to be so careful with this guy, because like anything he does at this point, like it's gonna change the landscape of Quinn as we know it within the next year. Like they even said like the ceremony is gonna be starting soon, so like all hell's about to break loose, you know, and Ryufui is gonna be the catalyst that strikes this war, this entire political war.
Yeah, while he strokes his beard while doing it.
Yeah, like I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna be living in a mansion. That man's gonna be stroking his beard every single time. Like,
but I still can't believe this nigga throws parties that are so good. His enemies come, like guys from Zawa, like, hey, Ryofu's throwing a party, man. Got elephant and naked chicks. Like, let's go.
Yo, I wasn't able to make it for the coalition stream. What did you guys rate that? Just out of curiosity.
11 out of 10.
I just want to make sure.
God sauce.
Yeah. Biblical.
Hey,
I think that's an easy 10. Coalition is an easy 10.
Steve-O.
What?
Bro, you're in for so much greatness, bro. Like you don't even know what's about to come next, bro. Like,
and like I'm really hoping by next week we can try and do like the fire dragons without saying like the actual like what goes on in it, because that's an absolute hype arc. Like 379 to 401.
I just finished that, bro. The jug was great.
I know. Dude,
that arc is so good.
Yeah, it's like one of those you literally have to have like one like entire stream just to talk about that one arc, because there's just so much greatness that happens in it.
Normally, I'm reading it like in bed before going to sleep, just because I like doing that kind of stuff. But I was keep on going and going and going and going. I was like, oh shit.
Hey man, I was hooked from like chapter 1, bro. Like like I've said these guys before. I skipped the day of work just to read the Coalition in one sitting. Like, once you get hooked, bro, it's over. Like you
I
can't.
know, but
I, I,
sometimes
I stayed up until 6 in the morning that one time. The first time when I first read 263, bro, it was it was I read like 30 chapters and until like 6 in the morning, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, what part of Kingdom really got y'all like? All right, I'm fucking with this series. Like I'm invested. Like I'm all in. Like I'm going.
There was this one panel.
Okay.
There was this one panel that I saw like of a perspective of flipping. It was towards the beginning of the series, but it was Ten and Shin and they were next to I forgot what the guys with the mask, the Beast, Baji, I want to say his name. It was one the freaking beast ass dude with the mask, and they were looking out of this
Oh,
huge
DQ.
panel of like a whole bunch of their civilization, and that caught me. I was like, oh, this is a beautiful panel. I think I'm gonna really like the series. It was really early on too. It was like chapter 16 or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's tough, man, to say. Oh,
I think mine would be the first campaign when the first time we see Oki just on top of that mountain, and like after the whole campaign's over, then Duke Kyo's even thanking him, thanks for doing nothing, and you're like, what? And then you realize you're like, Oki's actually been doing loads of crazy shit. It just because of him standing on that mountain, just the tactics and stuff. Like you'd even realize how like tactical it was. Just him doing one simple thing is just being on a mountain. I was like, wow, this is kind of deep. I'm in. I started getting really interested after that. Yeah.
yeah. You know what's weird is, you know what for mine is, and like after you're kind of thinking about it for a sec, I think it was Say's backstory. Because it's like to me, it's like when I was getting into it, right? I'm like, okay, like we kind of need to know more about this king of ours and stuff for me to kind of like show some kind of care for him. And the very second I got done that entire backstory, I'm like, I went from being interested to know more about this guy to holy crap, like this guy, like I'm he's my man. Like like after everything he went through, like a kid that literally went his entire life being told like you to die, like your own mother, man, try to choke you to death. Yeah, like, and especially like I'm gonna tell you right now, when you get into the battle of State of Eye and stuff, bro, like it gets even more emotional, man. That's all I gotta say. But like, just to see the correlation, especially with that afterwards, like it's just when I got done that arc, man, I'm like, damn, like it's not only just Shin that I want to see accomplish his dream. I want to be able to see like Sei be able to be like live up to the task that he has at hand for him, and like that's the moment where I said like, you know, I'm with Kingdom, like down 100%. And then it's like later on moments and stuff, like the fights with like Rinko, like the, you know, Oki's passing, the two coming in, taking down Gokei, like
Hoken existing.
to see the savagery of the fucking Duke himself, just taking Gokei's life. Like, oh, like there's too much, but like that early part though, like with Sei's backstory, I think is what connected me the most. Like, okay, I'm gonna keep riding with this series.
Yeah, I had never seen, well, not never, but it's hard to find a character like Hoken, bro. When I saw him, I was the moment I saw him, I was like, oh, this dude is a beast, bro.
Yeah.
And he's like one of those characters, and his design is something I'll never forget. And he really hooked me to want to keep reading to see what happened with that specific character, because he seemed like someone I would use in a game, like an Overwatch or something. Like he's that OP.
Yeah. Or someone like in a Muso game, like just taking lives and shit. Like I just be playing as him. Like
Kingdom needs a Muso game, bro. It's like the perfect fit for it.
It is. Like I'm surprised we haven't even got nothing. Like I'm telling you, man, this is the third best-selling manga from 2016. It's got to have something. Like I know it has a mobile game apparently coming out or something, but it needs like a PS4 console game. It needs the anime remake. Like, come on, if you're being Attack on Titan, I don't care if people say like Attack on Titan's been like whatever and stuff, but like if you're being something that's considered like, you know, worldwide like known and stuff in Japan, bro, like there's no excuse. We need an anime remake ASAP.
Anime, yes, remake now.
Because if that gets a remake, given like everything, like there's no censorship, like they just let it be what Kingdom is and stuff, I'm guaranteeing you, give it to one person to check it out, they'll be hooked.
It gotta be Studio Bones though. Fuck Shueisha, all that other bullshit.
Oh, it's gotta be Madhouse, man. I'm telling you, Madhouse would be perfect. I would sacrifice any other anime coming out for the next like 3-4 years if it meant that we're gonna be taking care of Kingdom.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sacrifice Ippo, but I agree.
Oh yeah, we got Mappa too, so they're working with them. So we'll rest in Mappa's hands.
Would you sacrifice Dragon Ball Super for Kingdom's anime?
Oh hell yeah, Super be
Oh
trash.
yeah, definitely. I sacrificed the One Piece anime for Kingdom. No, I'm joking.
Ooh,
I think that was a joke.
yeah, I know.
I ain't
So
gonna
it's
lie.
like,
I sacrificed the One Piece anime for a new Kingdom anime done right. Because One Piece, I can take the manga, but the anime be tripping sometimes.
Yeah.
sometimes
I
though,
can't
man.
do it.
But
I still love the anime. I can't do it.
yeah, exactly. Like it's been going on for too long, man. It's got like fucking, it's got like
Yeah.
legitimacy. It's there, man. It's there.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh man.
and it's also the first manga I've seen. Like, you know, when you guys think of Shanks, I was like, Shanks isn't gonna die for ages. That's how I felt about Oki. And then they just kill him. Then like the next arc after, I was like, what the fuck? No.
Yeah, I sort of had a similar feeling too, bro.
I was
I was
like,
like,
that nigga's
Oki's
gonna be
always
the
gonna
one.
be like that one figure that like we're gonna see him in
Yeah.
the beginning, but we're never gonna see him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, I won't lie. I know it sounds like I'm trolling you, lads, but it's not. I was kind of like, for ages, I was like, after the Oki died, I was kind of hoping Mobu dies the next arc. I was just reading
know.
just for Mobu to die. I was like, fucking
I remember.
damn.
Don't worry.
It's
Just
the
really
fuck
quick to
Mobu
read the chat
again.
though. DC5 says I got hooked on
No,
Kingdom
I'm
in
just saying.
chapter 1. So
Hey,
I
yeah,
definitely
chapter.
agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Kingdom has one of the best chapter ones in manga, man. It does a really good job of setting everything up.
Yeah, let me tell you this,
Yeah.
man. When I saw that one panel and stuff, like I posted on Twitter before with like Piao saying like, you know, if you spread your wings and fly, like I'll be there for you. I'm telling you, man, the second he becomes like the great General Evans, like I'm gonna break down in tears, bro. I won't like it won't be like I won't be able to like, you know, handle myself at that point. If I see like you know how they do like the whole like they'll show the character like from the past, like or the flashback, or like they'll be like it's their spirit or whatever, right? I would literally drop down in tears if I see like his spirit just showing up the day he becomes like Great General of the Heavens, like just
You're-
watching him.
You're talking about like an episode 6 of Star Wars where Anakin shows up at the end and Obi-Wan and Yoda. Luke,
Yeah, dude,
kind of like that.
something like I don't know, but like in a sense like that, yeah. Because like the way I look at it, bro, like if like to force like to select my own thing, like if he ends up becoming Great General of the Heavens, I do see him like leaving the ceremony to go to the gravesite of Piao and just
that'd
kind
be
of say,
beautiful.
"Yo, we did it," and just seeing the spirit just like watching him from above.
That'd be a beautiful way to end that chapter, bro.
Yeah, I would cry, bro. Like, there's no way, like, from an emotional standpoint, I wouldn't be able to handle it after that point.
Hey,
Oh,
Dave.
and there's another thing that Darkseid's wrote as well that's pretty funny. I even forgot about it. When Goki's telling his life story and how fucked up it is, and why he can't retreat, and then Kyou comes out with a line, "Bahaha, he's a sentimental, whining loser," and kills him. That's so brutal, but it's sick at the same time.
He was
Yeah,
like,
that's-
all I hear is the sentimental whining of a loser.
oh,
Yeah, I just seen that right
just
now.
just no sympathy. Like, nah, I'm not even gonna give you any sympathy when I'm about to kill you. Fuck that. Like, oh my
And I remember too, like seeing like stuff like I don't know, like because the translation group that I saw at the time and stuff with Turner Farmers, but like I remember like Manga Panda was in the translations. The PJ Hockey Master just put it in now in the chat. But like when Shin like at one point like called Oki Big Lip Sama, and I remember for a long time I'm like, yo, it's Big Lip Sama, man. Like big lips.
Like, because Oki and Tao are the trolliest like characters, and they're just so sick. Like the part when it's so messed up. Like it was kind of like when Shin and Oki and Tao they're all in a bath, and he's like, "I could have you right now if I wanted."
Yeah,
Like,
man.
what the
Bro,
fuck?
the map scene with Poe and stuff when he's swimming, bro. I remember I was dying, man. Like this is such a trolly shit. Like
Wait, guys, it's Darkseid said that because that's the point he got hooked to the story. That's even funnier.
when Duke said, yeah, like sentimental of a whining loser. Like
Yeah, that's so funny. Man. Like,
I mean, like one panel in particular that gets me always hyped, like looking back on it. And it's like when they were explaining about like Kyou, like how she died at the hands of Hoken, and like Shobun-kun was saying like that was the first and last time I ever seen Oki show such like a form of rage. And like it's one of those, you know, when like you're reading it and you feel like holy shit, the hype just like overtook your body afterwards. When I saw his face with the white eyes,
Damn,
like
chill.
bro, oh god, I don't want to imagine like the monstrous bird, bro, being pissed.
Yeah, I agree, bro.
God. It's just like, and then like, especially like when we saw the confrontation, you know how like they made so much of an emphasis on like the heart thumping and stuff too. Like I felt my heart thumping, bro, when I was like reading that line. I'm just like, oh my god.
oh man, but I don't know. Mine is like seeing the guys like when the horse's legs started to break. When Shin was having a fight with Rinku with Ohan, and then Shin just goes up with that big slap, and it broke. I was like, I have never seen this before. The nigga broke a horse's legs. A horse's legs? Just from his attack? Oh my days.
Yeah, man. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I tell people, man, Kingdom has like when I say Toriko had hype, it's just like, bro, like Kingdom is just greatness. Like, it just does the same thing. Like,
And it's
no,
maybe
Say,
it's,
Maras?
different kind
yeah.
of like,
What I want to say was like for me, it's just not only like the story plot and stuff, but also like when I first started reading Kingdom, I was blown away by the details of the drawings. I'm a graphic designer, so I'm looking at that kind of stuff and seeing how further the story goes. Also, how better the drawings get, because in the beginning it's like
yeah,
you see some details, you see some shadings, but how further it goes, it get more darker, it get more, you get more details, more, it come more to life. And I was like, yeah, this is good. I'm liking this.
yeah. Oh, man.
Exactly, yeah. It's
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, just real quick. I gotta start wrapping up because I got Voldemort's coming after me real quick. But it's called. But yeah, guys, if you guys did enjoy this stream, of course, thanks to King Recon for coming through. He had to step out for a sec, but everyone's links will be down in the description below. Dustin as well. Thank you for coming through, bro. Anytime we can talk about Kingdom, man, and like try to get you in, like you already know.
Oh, for sure, I'm down.
Yeah, especially with the later stuff that we're gonna be talking about too, man. With the fire dragons, bro. Like I already know that's gonna be amazing. Like.
Like the stream for Kyokai and Ryofui.
Yeah, like the stream for Kyokai and Ryufui. Subscribe for Kyou and his valiant efforts to try to live after all that. And yeah, of course, so guys, links in the description down below to Twitter's and YouTube. Of course, we'll have King Recon and Dustin's channels down below as well. Follow the Discord to keep up to date with any more Kingdom streams. We're gonna try and like keep in track with the Kingdom, trying to get caught up as soon as possible so we can get on these chapter discussions. But like I said before, you keep a track of the Discord, and you'll find out when we're doing our next Kingdom stream. But until then, next time, guys, like I said before, like and subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and we'll catch you guys in the next Kingdom video. So,
Conky Osen.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
So with
Are
that,
we gonna see,
Oh,
I'm gonna
whoa.
see them? Well, are we gonna see them tomorrow? Probably, yeah.
I mean, Dustin, hey, if you're free, bro, I mean, like One Piece tomorrow.
What time?
We gonna try to get in by 5 p.m.
All right, I'm gonna be out work by then, so that's a bit.
Yeah,
Or
no worries.
I'll just link me and I'll join when I get back. I'll join for sure.
All right, most stuff then. But yeah, guys, with that being said, now, of course, again, like and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And with that being said, again, Nikki, Stevo, the floor is yours. When Stevo comes back. Stevo.
Oh, what the hell did Steve go? Shit.
All right, Nikki, let's handle it right now. Outer Haven.
Disperse. Dun, 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 dun,
And just so everyone knows, Stevo just took a massive L. Take care, guys.
dun.